with yet another chess video. This was a game I recently played. This guy was rated about 1330. My rating's down now to 1400, which kind of sucks, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoy my analysis. So we start with King's Pawn opening. I respond my standard reply. I'm not sure what opening is called. He moves Queen's Pawn in this position. I like to take because when, as usual with the line, Queen normally takes the pawn, of which then I just bring the knight out to defend. Normally at this point the Queen just moves back here, and then it's we both continue developing, but he didn't do that, so he actually just moved in this direction, of which then I just continue developing, opening up the line for my bishop and queen. So now he took his bishop out. I'm not sure why he's doing this. Kind of redundant. I would actually develop my knights if I were him. Either one would do. So I keep developing. He develops a bit more. I push my center pawn. I really want to challenge the center and really attack that center pawn at the same time. I can see, because he brought his queen out early, I can really take advantage and attack it. So after pawn takes, I just take back, and now he moves his queen. Now he's putting pressure on my g7 pawn, which means now my dark square bishop is forced to actually defend. So now I decide I'm going to develop my light square bishop, attacking c2 and forcing him to defend. So when he defends, well, I actually thought about pushing e4, but if I push e4, he's just going to move his bishop to c4. At the same time, pushing e4 really like closes up my light square bishop line. So I think the best move for me here is to just take the bishop. So I take his bishop, and I think the best move for him here is to take the bishop with his queen. So it removes the attack on g7, but it doesn't kill his pawn line. So that's what I would do there, but he took the pawn. I think he wanted to really maintain that attack on g7. So, okay, I decide let's now bring out the queen, attacking f2 at the same time, attacking b2. That's a more obvious threat right now. He defends with bishop to c3, which is a little funny. I mean, my knight can actually take that, but then he would just take back with his knight, which helps him develop his pieces. I don't see why I would want to do that. So I decide, let's take advantage here. Clearly I missed something, because if you look at the screen, I went from -7 to -2.5. That's not good. Should analyze that later. So I move my knight out. So if the bishop takes here, let's consider that bishop takes, then my queen takes with check. Let's say hypothetically knight takes, then knight takes back, pawn takes, queen takes with check, and then whatever, and then check, right? So obviously he's not going to do that. The other alternative is the knight blocks the check here, but then I still move my queen here. So that's not good either. So I'm more interested. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm putting pressure on the c2 square, and really making it difficult for him, because I'm threatening a fork. Okay, so queen takes pawn, the center pawn, which I fully expected that he might do that. I was fine with that. I thought I would sacrifice some pieces just for development. So he moves here. I develop my bishop while defending at the same time. This was intentional that I would let him take my g7 pawn, threatening the h8 rook, of which then I fully expected to castle queenside to defend h8. But this was really weird. I don't know why he didn't do that. He didn't take g7. I would have. He did a very, in my opinion, redundant move. I think as well he's kind of concerned about the knight fork. That, I mean, honestly, the knight fork is the least of his problems. I would have still taken g7, but whatever. So I castled at this point. Now he wants to kick my knight. That's a good move, I think, kind of. But I decide already that I have really good momentum. That knight is in a very strong position, and I don't really want to move it. So I think I'll take advantage of the queen being pinned by the king. So now if he takes the knight, it's a very bad move, because then I would take back. Bishop takes pawn, attacking the queen now, and then queen would be forced to, I believe, take the rook. Actually, let's play this out. Let's say the pawn takes. Let's say now that bishop takes pawn, attacking the queen. Let's say now let's say he tries to save it. Oh no, he can't save it. Yeah, so he's definitely forced to take the rook, of which then I'm winning. Okay, so I castle, and we're up to here now. Okay, so now he decides, okay, let's threaten a mate in one. At this point, it's pretty bad. I checked him here, and if the king moves to, let's say, this point here, that's obviously very bad. Then I think I would move like knight check here, and then if king comes here, then queen comes here. It's a very, very scary place to be, I think, and then I think it's forced to come here. Um, hmm. Yeah, okay. So I think at this point, possibly it looks like his bishop is guarding the e1 square, so I can't mate him there. But I could probably have to take this pawn. And after the knight takes, sorry, after bishop takes, I think I will develop my knight here, and then I think it's game over, because wherever he moves, well, he's pretty much forced to move. Let's say, well, whatever he moves, either the king or he blocks with the knight, or he blocks with the bishop, it's pretty much checkmate. He can't really defend that. Okay, so that's obviously very, very bad. So say he's here. If he moves here, that's obviously very bad, because then it's a mate. Which actually, by the way, he did do, which ended the game. If he moves, let's see. If he moves here, I think that's the best move for him. So if he moved there, I think I would just let's say, take the bishop at this point, remove that mate threat, and then most likely he would take the knight here so that he can develop at the same time, of which I would possibly just take the pawn with check after king takes knight, queen takes rook, and I'm still up in terms of development. And you'll notice as well that his rook is trapped. His pieces are just tied up by themselves, and he's really, in a way, stuffed, which isn't very good. Anyway, if we think back to what he actually did, this is what he did, which pretty much ended the game.